Hey everybody, it's the Bulldog coming at you, Mr. Metalhead Warrior NY coming at you. How you guys doing out there? I know I've been on a little bit. I've been doing other things, um, working out some things in the studio, and just doing these around the house, and just taking some time away from doing it for a little bit. I just want to say, everybody, welcome in again. I've been listening to some newer stuff. I was hoping that I was going to be getting a couple other things that I ordered, but it hasn't come yet. I got some orders coming in from Metal Blade, Agonia Records. I think I have some eBay stuff coming in, and a few other things, few labels that I forgot right now. But I just want to do quick reviews on a few albums that I've been spinning for the past week, 2 weeks now, among other things that I've been listening to and doing. One of the first ones I want to get into is Iotune from Denmark. Great album, absolutely a monster record. Definitely for me, album of the year candidate, hands down. For those who don't know, they're right there. Sorry about the reflection. Um, it's just this album brings in, I think, everything. You have the progressive sound. Um, at times, there's melodic death metal breakdowns. Um, a little bit of like thrashy sounds in there too. Um, some atmospheric black metal sounds, some folk thrown in there. Uh, great, great acoustic type, almost like epic heavy metal type sounding. There's absolutely no skips, no fillers on this record from top to bottom, and I mean absolutely none. Um, very clean vocals for the most part. But like I said, they throw in some like atmospheric black metal, vocals, uh, some melodic death metal vocals in there, some undertones of it. Um, there's a ballad on here. Get my light on this. I can see "Iridescent Way." This it's a classic, epic, heavy power metal type ballad, and I mean, it's type of song you just sit back and listen to. You know, um, very enchanting type sound. Um, yeah, there's not much more I can say about this. It's just a monster of a record, I think. Like I said, no skipping through this record. There's no, like, as I call them, dead tracks. I think each song is very, very well done. Um, Much like their album before this one. Um, and like I said, it's definitely an album that you could just throw on while you're doing something and just let it play. Um, it it's just it's a great album. I think it's one of the best album, if not the best album of 2024. And there's been a lot of great albums that have come out this year, and there's more coming out. But definitely, iTunes called Kinships. Pick these guys up if you haven't listened, if you haven't heard them yet, or if you haven't listened to this record yet. Pick it up. Um, Actually, an extraordinary release, in my opinion. Actually, I think I still have it in my CD player behind me. Um, Without a doubt, like I said, it's no fillers, no skips. Um, they just throw everything in there. You got your clean vocals, you got your atmospheric black metal type vocals, uh, melodic death metal at some points in it, um, heavy metal sounding thrashy parts to it. All in all, it's just an all around great record. Pick them up. Came out on Metal Blade, iTunes. Check them out. One of the next ones. I wasn't really into this band. Um, I like them. But this album really grabbed me. Fit for an Autopsy, and you would think that I would be into this band being from, you know, the tri-state area, New York area. Fit for an Autopsy, the, the nothing that the nothing that is. Deathcore. They expanded their sound a little bit, in aspect of like a more of like a death metal almost feel. Still has the blast and the chugs with it. Um, the thing I like most about this record, I think, is the breakdowns. Almost like a progressive, melodic type death metal breakdowns into it. And sometimes, some songs, atmospheric sounding in a way. Um, and there are some clean vocals on this record, which I think, fans of them will still enjoy. I know I loved it. Like I said, being from them being from I think they're from Jersey City, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Jersey City they're from, or Hoboken, one of those two. I mean, Jersey's Jersey, so anybody from Jersey, sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but you know how Jersey can be. Anyways, um, not it's not a long drawn out album. Um, Again, they still have that classic deathcore sound, but they incorporate more, like, some death metal undertones, some clean vocals on some tracks, which I think is phenomenal. Um, I think I think this is one album that caught people by surprise. I know it for me. Like I said, I'm a fan of these guys. I'm not a real big fan of them, but this album I do like. Um, I just guess it's because more, Emmett knows me, knows I'm more into the straight up death metal, the grind, the gore, the older school black metal. But things like this, the metalcore or the deathcore, you know, there's bands I've been getting into more of that deathcore. So definitely, Fifth and Autopsy, nothing that is, came out on Nuclear Blast. Um, Another thing about them, um, there's some parts of of the record that I like. Um, Very doomy sounding too. A number of the songs, which, you know, you factor that all in with everything. I think it's a very roundabout record. Uh, it doesn't drag on. Um, a couple of the songs that stuck out for me: um, Red Horizon, title track, uh, Lower Purpose, um, Hostage was the first track. Like I said, really not a bad record. If everybody's into them, haven't heard it yet, Fit for an Autopsy came out on Nuclear Blast. Check this album out. I think a lot of people, um, I think a lot of people will be surprised about what they hear about them. I know, like I said, for me personally, I like them, but I wasn't a real big fan of them. Like I know a lot of people are. Um, you know, there's certain albums that I like to take chances on. You know, I mean, there's been albums that I've gotten in the past where I couldn't stand you know, their first two albums or whatever. I think that's their seventh. I think that's Fit for an Autopsy's sixth release or seventh. Might be their seventh release. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely check them out. You know, who knows? You might like them. Um, Next one, Shamash, one of my favorite bands from Switzerland. It's the fifth release. If you do like Deathspell, Omega, um, Behemoth, even uh, um, Triptychon, um, you know, Destroyer 66, maybe some creator sounding. Uh, Blood Oss Nerd also, prime example. Ascension comes to mind, who I got right over there somewhere. Um, yes, as people know, as I'm listening to the albums, I'll write things down, especially like if I'm doing reviews on them. I like to write things down so I can go from top to bottom with them. I know a lot of people just do it. Um, you know, they'll, I know a lot of people have their styles of doing things. I like showing the physical copy. I'm still getting used to the whole thing, putting the graphics up and everything, which I've been told by a number of people, you know, that I follow even on here and on IG, and friends of mine that I see all the time. It's like, you're doing your thing. Don't worry about it. Stick to it. Do it your way. Bottom line. Don't worry about putting graphics up, and you know get just keep doing what you're doing. It eventually, you know. So I'm not too worried about it. Anyone that knows me and my channel knows I'm gonna show physical copies, and if I don't have them, I'll talk about them, which is why I was hoping a couple of things that I've talked about a couple of streams ago, I was hoping I'll get by now, but our great mail service, um, I should be getting them hopefully this week, hopefully, or if not by the end of the week. Um, there's a few of them, actually a number of them. I'm gonna be doing like a top 50, top 60 of the year, and that's another thing I've been working on. Um, is getting those albums all set, because I'm gonna do it like towards probably very end of December, start of January, where I'm gonna be doing like a huge stream. And I'm gonna start doing a couple more lives. I know I like doing the pre-records. Um, I think I make it to where I go maybe live 2 3 times a month. You know, I mean, like I start off going live. I just like, I just enjoy doing um, the pre-records, but I'm gonna throw in some like a couple lives so I can get you know subscribers. Get to know everybody that you know tunes in. Which I know half the people anyway. So thank you. Um, now getting back to Shamash, I'm sorry, I got scrambled. This is the fifth release. Um, Malador Chance, Old Oceans. This came out prosthetic. Another album I absolutely love for this year. It's definitely gonna be a candidate for like you know close to being album of the year. It'll probably be in my top 15 without a doubt. Um, Dark and death metal, um, some black metal in there, uh, avant-garde type. Um, just a dark, sinister sound to them. Um, Almost like a borderline cult metal, war metal, um, thrown in for just for good measure. Um, I think it's one, in my opinion, it's definitely one of my favorites of the year, hands down. I mean, you know, for me personally, I always look to see what albums are brewing for the year, and I'll write them down or circle them, just keep tabs on them. And this is one band I definitely couldn't wait to get. Um, Maldador Chance, Old Ocean, came out prosthetic. Um, some of the tracks that I personally like off this record, a somber mystery. They have found their master. Uh, image, image of the infinity, another great track. Like it's not a real long record. Like I said, you get a whole different aspects with them. Black and death metal, black metal. Um, Strong record. I like the breakdowns of it. The guitar work is on point. The vocals are perfect. Um, I think, like I said, It's either fourth or fifth release. I think they're fifth. But definitely check them out. Shamash, the Malador Chance, Old Ocean. Definitely, if you guys like that black metal mixed with the dark and death metal, avant-garde, uh, some atmospheric, just a twinge of it. Definitely check these guys out. Definitely, like I said, you know, I think 2024 was a hell of a year for metal. A lot of great fucking releases this year, and I mean a ton of fucking releases this year. Like I said, I'm working on my top 50, maybe top 60. What I might do is do a top 50, you know, and then another side like a 15. Because I don't put them necessarily in any type of set order. I know a lot of people do that, and I mean doing that, it's fun doing that, but it's also a bitch to do that. Um, I got most of them over here or over there somewhere in a box lined up. Um, yes, then they all gotta go back into either these two racks behind me, ouch, or the racks over there. Yeah, my shoulder's been. That's another reason why I haven't been on too much. My shoulder, I'm looking at a second shoulder surgery, possible full shoulder replacement, and they're also looking at my neck now. So, yeah, Amazon, right there, pay me. Anyways, let me continue with this. Don't want to get too off track. Um, Another band that the album these guys I've been into, Wraith. Now it's not to be confused with the band from Connecticut. It's like an 80s 90s band. They're like uh, almost like a power metal type band, progressive type band. Also, not the one from out of Georgia, or for that matter, out of California. There are so many different bands by this name that have been out in the past. People get them confused. Um, the one from Connecticut was spelled Wrath, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, being from Connecticut, you know, there's a lot of local bands that came out that really didn't progress too much, as the ones from Georgia and in California, for that matter. And I think there's one more from like Arkansas or somewhere, you know, somewhere weird. Not weird, but you know what I mean. This is their newest one. It came out of Prosthetic also. Um, Fueled by Fair. If you're into Hell Ripper, Trench Hell, Midnight, Destroy 666, check these guys out. Heavy record. Um, Blackened speed metal, in a way. Darkened thrash metal undertones to it. Heavy album. Um, not really a bad track on this record. I mean, not really a skip track from top to bottom. Personally, um, they also bring like the crossover feel to it. A lot of it. There's some very crossover tones to it. Like I said, Hell Ripper, Trench Hell, Midnight, Destroyer 666. You could probably throw in there some Marauder in there. Early COC, probably Cryptic Slaughter, for that matter. Definitely. A few of the tracks that stuck out for me: Code Red, Shame and Suffering, um, Hell's Canyon, Vulture was another one. Um, One of my favorite, Ice Cold Bitch. There's a few of those I can, relate that song to. Probably nice. Album is Wraith, Prosthetic Records, Fueled by Fair. You see it right there. And then I know a few of these came out way, early, but I haven't been, being just started this channel, I've been trying to catch up and do reviews on albums that came out current and like early January, February, March area. But definitely, Wraith. I think they're out of Indiana. Yeah, come out of Indiana. If you like, that darkened thrash type crossover, just a pure breakdown album, definitely check them out. Next one is a band called Bat. This is I think this is their second release. Um, this is from Nick and Ryan from Municipal Waste, another band I absolutely love. Um, this is just supposed to be a one-off side project, and it's not going further, which I love. I if you're into Jesus, if you're into Municipal Waste, um, Iron Reagan, things along that line, you'll definitely like that. Um, Very has a 80s, 90s very raw production, in my opinion, on this record, which I think it stands out more. Um, Old school thrash crossover, that darkened thrash metal, almost like a up and coming um, type crossover feeling to it. I'm trying to find that word. I can't find that right word for it. Sorry. Um, Very good album. If you like their first record, you're gonna like this. Um, if you like anything by Municipal Waste, definitely this is definitely for you. Right there. Um, Municipal Waste is supposed to be coming out with, I believe, a new record. Hopefully next year. If I'm not mistaken, I've been seeing things about them. Um, Hopefully, um, big Municipal Waste fan. Have been since I first saw them years back. Um, Album is called Under the Crooked Claw. This came out on uh, Nuclear Blast. Some of the songs, um, Vampire Lore, um, Warshock, Buttered, um, Electric Warning, another very good heavy track. Uh, right for Exorcism, Revenge of the Wolf is another one, definitely. Literally, check them out. Bat, Under the Crooked Claw. Like I said, this is their second release. I think the first one came out like 16, I believe, or 17. So definitely check them out. Next build is Summer Circle. This is their fourth release. The guys are from Knoxville, Tennessee, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Blackened, blackened death metal, doomy at times, um, atmospheric, technical black metal. Um, just all around. I think it's all around great album by these guys. Came out of Black Lion Records. Um, is right there. Yeah, definitely. Um, you know, and that I'm big into that blackened death metal, the atmospheric black metal, the darkened death metal type feel, and this album surprised me big time. Big fan of these guys. Um, album called uh, album is called Colt. Definitely check these guys out. Summer Circle album called Colt, out on Black Lion Records. Um, there was two songs that really stuck out to me on this. I'm trying to remember which ones. Shroud of Inhumanity, Thirst of the Vulture, and also Prophet of Death. Just a few of them that actually just stuck out big time for me. Next one is one of my favorite bands of all time, Rotting Christ. These guys have been doing this for, God, 30 plus years now, I think. Um, Black metal, atmospheric, has some folk elements in this record. Pro Christo. Came out on Season of Mist. Season of Mist Out Records. Another one that came out early, early 2024. Um, if you like their newer mid stuff, you'll definitely like this. I know a lot of people say they got away from who they were, in their early stuff. I like this record. Um, I guess I've been a big Rock Christ fan since I first heard them. God, 2000s, I think it was. Um, it has an epic black metal feel to them. Um, they even incorporate there's some parts that are very melodic, um, atmospheric a little bit mixed in. Like I said, the folk elements are there. I think it's a great album for them. Um, I know, like I said, a lot of people were, skeptical about these guys with this record. I like the record. Um, do I think you could hear Triarchy in this album. Um, you hear a lot of their older stuff mixed with the new, which I love. Like I said, I'm partial. I've been a fan of those guys since I first heard them. Saw them in concert, think twice, maybe three times. Um, definitely one of my favorite bands of all time, hands down. Um, Definitely one of my favorite releases of this year. Uh, Roddy Christ, Pro Christu, came out on Season of Mist Records. If you guys haven't got this record yet, check it out. Next one is absolutely one of my favorite death metal records of this year. I'm partial to these guys. The band's called Fulci. Duck Face Killings. Um, for those who don't know, they got their name from one of my favorite um, horror movie directors, producers, Lucio Fulci. Um, this album is based on the legendary horror movie slasher film, New York Ripper. It came out in, when did Ripper came out? 81? 83? 82. One of those years. I just watched it again like 2 weeks ago. Great movie. Um, it was banned. The movie was banned in UK and Europe for like 15 or 20 years for some reason. If you guys have ever seen that slasher film, it's graphic, very realistic, to say the least. Brutal film. It's about a cop, is it a retired cop or a suspended cop that goes on a killing spree, basically. Kills his victims, you name it, stabbing them, slicing them, dicing them. Yeah, it's a great movie. Um, Great album. Old school death metal feel. You like the gore, the grind, um, grindcore, the old school death metal feel. Um, there's some melodic sounds to it, some hooks. Um, if you like Crypta, definitely. Definitely check them out. There's an underground rapping. One of the songs, Knife, it's called. There's a rapper from Brooklyn called Lord Goat. He's in some underground rap group called Nonfiction. Um, like a rap. It's like a rap death metal type crossover song. Um, his, when I heard, I haven't seen his logo. I had to catch up about him. Um, his logo is like a homage to like Voivod or something like that. It's not a bad track. I remember back in the '90s. You know, when all that metal rap, crossover was coming about. Um, I know everybody says about Aerosmith and Run DMC with Walk This Way. Um, but I think the 90s, even the early 2000s, um, it incorporated more of the more metal crossover with the harder rap. I know back then, like I said, back then you had two of the biggest bands in the '80s, Run DMC and Aerosmith, doing Walk This Way. Which don't get me wrong, I love Run DMC. I'm a huge fan of Run DMC. Being from New York, who's not gonna be a fan of them? Um, Not big of Aerosmith, but yes, I'm into Aerosmith. A few of their albums. Um, but yeah, I think I was saying back in the '90s, 2000s, you had the whole crossover thing going with the rap and the metal. Um, and I think this song, is starting to bring that back. Um, but definitely, this album came out on. What song came out on? $20 spin. I'm sorry. Um, if you like the grind, the death metal, the core grind, definitely. I love this record. I love these guys. Heavy record. Um, Fucked with a Broken Bottle. Human Scalp Collection. Duckface Killing, the title track. Rotten Apple. Uh, um, Stabbed, Gutted, and Loved. Sadistic Murder. Morbid Lust. It's just it's a gnarly album. It's a heavy album. It's a deafening album. I mean, it really, really is. I know a lot of people, look at it and they cringe away from it. I like that old Cannibal Corpse feel to it. Um, that old Bomber feel to it. General Surgery, for that matter. Agoraphobic Nosebleed sounding to it. But definitely, $20 spin. Check out Fulci, Duckface Killings. I think this is like the third release, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that. But definitely, check these guys out. Next one is one of my favorite bands that have come out over the past 15 years now. The new Enforced EP. A Leap Into the Dark. I love these guys. Amazing live band. There's 3 new tracks. They do a casket remaster. Um, they do a cover by English Dogs on here that chases on. Great cover by them. They also do a cover of Obituaries, Deadly Intentions, on this record. I think it's a phenomenal EP. It's just showing that these guys aren't stopping. That I think these guys are the real deal. Dark and thrash, like a crossover feel. Melodic at times. Like I said, if you're into Municipal Waste, Iron Reagan, things along that line, Midnight even. Definitely check these guys out. This is like I think their third, their third album, fourth overall, I believe, and third release. Because I think they got, it's right here behind me somewhere on this side. Yeah, they got three LPs out, and then the EPs are three full releases, and a couple EPs out. But this is their newest one. This came out on Central Media. Definitely, if you guys like the old crossover sound, Municipal Waste along that line, definitely check it out. Enforced, Leap Into the Dark. I think it's an outstanding EP by them. Yeah, it's three new studio tracks, and then 3 B-sides. And and this is the first time that it's actually available on recording. Why it didn't come out earlier, I have no clue, but definitely check this guy's out. Enforced, another one I've been playing nonstop since I got it. Yeah, I'm sure you hear that. That's my Shepherd Rottweiler Pitbull mix down there barking. Just ignore him. He's doing his job. It's probably the mailman. Ooh, that might be my stuff. Anyways, next one I want to get to. I hope I'm not butchering this name. Kaivis. I'm almost positive that's how you say it. After the Flesh. These guys are from Rome, Italy. Death metal grind, doomy at times. You could see that they draw from the Swedish sound. Dismember, Entombed, Amarth for that matter. Then you throw in so much Mechanical Corpse, Carcass in there. Just a barrage of different sounds. I watched a couple of interviews with them on here, and they're no holds barred. They're you know they're in your face. Definitely a band to keep an eye on going forward. I would love to see what these guys can do going forward. Brutal album. Kosher Cannibal. Beyond Autopsy, one of my favorite. I think this pays homage to Pungent Stench. Forsaking your soul, forsaking your flesh for God your soul. Monster track. Crushing all altars. Horrend. Remember, this is their first full release. Horrend. They had that on an EP. I think they only put out one EP with that on it. And they did another like a single release. It might have been for Crushing All Altars. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there was a B-side on that one also, like a live version of something. But definitely, this came out on Brutal Records. Kaivis, Kaivs. I'm probably butchering the name. Sorry about that. After the Flesh, definitely check them out. Like I said, grinding death metal, doomy at times, heavy record. And you can see their influences from like the whole Swedish sound that they have, especially the vocals. Very Dismember type sounding, Embalmer influences in there, Entomb, Cannibal Corpse, Dismember, you name it. A little bit Disembowelment in there, a little bit. Definitely check them out. One of the next ones I want to get to, Return to Shreds. Sanchi is the they're from San Jose, I believe, or in that area, California. It's the fourth release, I believe. Pure death metal. Little grind elements, little dark and death metal in there. Heavy record. I think definitely gonna be in my top. Right there. You see him on the back. Not a bad record from top to bottom. No skips. This came out on a Relapse. Force Fed is one of those ones that attracted me. Sacrificial Fire. Visions of Sin. Mirror of Darkness. Feast of the Deceased. Living in Effigy. It's just a monster of a record. Heavy record. That old school death metal feel mixed in with some darkened death metal, so a little bit of grind attributes to it. Like I said, just the fourth record. I think it's San Jose area, California. California death metal. You know, um, okay, like I said, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I'm doing my top 50, if not a little bit more of this year. I got a ton of stuff here. I got stuff coming, different labels. Um, I'm hoping it comes in the next week or so, if not sooner. Because I wanted to throw in a couple of those into this stream. What I might do is just do another big stream when those come in. Um, but definitely, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As I always say, stay hard, stay metal, stay brutal, stay metal. Most of all, stay metal. And I know this world's going through some shit right now. Um, it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk too much politics. I don't let it get to me. I know people let it get to them, and it causes wars. I'm not like that. I'm not gonna lose friendships or people over politics. So that, you know, we really have no fucking control of. You know, to each his own. I moved on from it. I don't care. I tell everybody, I got my life. I got my health. I got my girl, Mrs. Metalhead Warrior. I got my friends. I got my music. I got my studio. I'm good to go. Anyways, enough of that bullshit, rambling bullshit. Again, this is the Bulldog, Mr. Metalhead NY. Thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. Please feel free to leave any comments you want. Any albums that you got that I should check out. Like I said, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I got a whole bunch of albums that I've been listening to, going through, and playing out my top 50. A couple other discographies that I want to break down, things like that. Like I said, I do plan on starting to go live, probably 2-3 times a month. I might start that the start of January because I got so much things I want to do. You know, going further with this. There are going to be some flea markets coming up that I plan on going to, and I plan on going live to. Some record shops that I talked to that told me if you want to come in, you know, and do a live, feel free. You know, that helps with their business also. Especially if you're ever in Lower Hudson Valley area, Middletown, a place called Rock Fantasy. They got a channel on here. I tag them all the time. A guy named Steve. He owns a. If you've ever been there, and I know a lot of bands have been there. A lot of people from the Valley, Jersey, New York, have been to his shop. I know a few guys on here mentioned it. It's all in one stop shop, in my opinion. You got your metal. You got a shit ton of vinyl, shirts, CDs, new releases, older stuff, collectibles. It's also, you go get your CBDs and your smoking stuff there. Also, yes, it's also a pinball place. You go to play some pinball. Yeah, so it's all in one shop. You know, stop in. Guy's name is Steve. He's an awesome dude. He's on here. I'll put his info in the comment section or in the description. But again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. As I say, stay hard, stay heavy, stay brutal, stay metal. This is the Bulldog signing out. Again, thank you. As I always say, if you're going to do something, make it count. Bulldog says I'm out.